Hello. Today is Thursday, February 4th. I just realized just now today is Thursday. I have a Zoom call with my cousin, my family at 8 o'clock. I have to remind my brother and my sister. I'm sure they remembered, but I like to remind them because that's my job as the matriarch of the family. Anyway, but we do have birthdays today. Today is Donna McNeely's birthday, so Donna gets a song. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Donna, happy birthday to you, cha-cha-cha. When I first saw your name, Donna, I was thinking of McFeely, Mr. McFeely on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. My kids used to watch Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, and they also watched Captain Kangaroo. No, I watched Captain Kangaroo. They didn't watch Captain Kangaroo. They watched, what was the other one they watched? They watched Mr. Rogers, and they didn't even watch Sesame Street. That one, they watched it a little bit. Yeah, and I take that back. They did watch it a lot. They did watch Sesame Street. Oh, I got a Sesame Street story, but let me finish the birthday songs. It's also Jennifer. Okay, Jennifer. Grandihutty, Grandinettle, Grandnettle, Jennifer Grandinettle. Jennifer, it's your birthday. Go out and party, because I'm messing up your name. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jennifer. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. It's also Kim D's birthday. Kim, you get a song? Yeah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kim. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, I hope all three of you have a great birthday, and I'm so sorry I messed up your name, Jennifer. I'm really sorry. Worked on my puzzle today. When I get done babbling here, I'll show you how the progress that I made. I've actually finished the puzzle. I was thinking it was the hardest puzzle I ever did, but then I realized I'm going to take you a tour of the puzzles that Jim and I have done in the past. The one that we have in our guest room it was a shipyard with a little cruise ship with the little flags and stuff. You'll know which one it is when I show it to you. That one had to have been 1,000 pieces, I think. That could not have been 500 pieces. That was a big puzzle, and that took us quite a while to do that one too. And I think that's why we stopped doing puzzles for a couple of years, because that one was just so trying. But we did 3 puzzles last year. I did a puzzle the year before on my birthday, and then so far we've done 2 puzzles this year. I still got 1 more to go. We usually like to get 3 done in the winter, but this one was hard. This one was really, really hard. But anyway, the story was, as you can see, I'm a very low maintenance person. I don't wear makeup or anything. But I've gone through periods of my life that I was going to be a makeup person. Oh, first I'll tell you a story from Barbara Carrico. Barb, let's see if you remember this one. Barb was a beautician. She did beautiful hair. She did really well. But when she had to go for her beautician's license, she had to bring somebody with her so that they could qualify. And so I said I would go. And so I think I had really long hair, I think, at the time. And I know she cut it because she had to show a cut, which was fine. So she did, she had to do all of the things that you're supposed to do to pass your license. And when it came time that they had to do, which they don't do anymore, forget what finger waving. She had to do a finger wave. And my hair is so straight and so thick that she couldn't get it done. And she was getting a little aggravated with me. I'm sure you remember, Barb. You were getting a little aggravated with me. And so then the person that judges you or instructor or passes you or whatever came over and was going to show her how it was done. They couldn't do it either. So she did pass. So anyway, but like I said, I always had my hair long because Jim liked it long when I was dating. And I just kept it in a ponytail, which is kind of silly because what's the point of having long hair if you're just going to always have it in a ponytail? But back to the Danny story. I was working the bingo at church. Towards, if you worked at the bingo at church, they gave you credits towards your tuition, so you didn't have to pay as much money for tuition. It was basically a job They figured out how many hours you worked. You got paid so much an hour, and then they deducted it from your tuition. They didn't actually give you a check, but they took it away from your money, your tuition that you had to pay. And so I was getting ready the one day, and Danny was watching me, and I was putting my makeup on. Not really good with makeup, let me tell you, but I was doing the best I could. And my hair was just so heavy and straight, and it was hard to, it didn't hold a curl. It was just really impossible to hold a curl. And I always had I had to get my curling iron really, really hot, and I would hold it and hold it and hold it. Like usually only have to hold it for maybe, I don't know. Once again, not a beautician. Maybe I'm going to say if you had to hold it for 15 seconds to get a curl, I had to hold it for 45 seconds to get a curl. The same thing when I dyed my hair. Most people could put the dye in and it would take in 20 minutes. I had to leave the dye on for 45 minutes. And even then it didn't take completely because I have such coarse hair, even then. Actually, when my hair first turned gray, it was an ugly gray. It was a really ugly gray. And so that's why I always dyed it. And then one day I just got tired of it. And I think it was just all the dyes that probably made my hair ugly. I don't know. But anyway, so I was getting ready to go to bingo. And Danny was probably maybe four or five, not much older than that. And he was coming in watching me get ready. And he went to help me by handing me the curling iron. But instead of grabbing the handle of the curling iron, he grabbed the wand of the thing. And it was as soon as he grabbed it, and I could see he was grabbing it at the same time, we both saw it at the same time. And it was did you ever that moment you realize that this is wrong, but you don't know what to do? And it was he was holding it, and he knew that it was burning his hand, but he couldn't figure out to let go of it, and it was just, it was terrible. And so Jim and I had brought him to the hospital real quick. Well, Danny's favorite character on Sesame Street was Bert. Most people liked Ernie. Danny liked Bert. So he always had a Bert doll with him everywhere he went. And then he slept with his stuffed dog, which he named Dugan. But Dugan didn't leave the house. Dugan always stayed home. I think he learned from Tibby, because I told you Tibby had that accident where he got decapitated. Tibby was Jimmy's bear that was involved in a car accident, which I've told that story too. And the bear got decapitated. And I think Danny kind of remembered that, and he didn't want Dugan to meet the same fate. So anyway, but he brought Bert everywhere. I guess he didn't care about Bert as much, but he brought Bert everywhere we went. So Jim and I went. My sister Mary was living with us at the time, and so she was able to stay home with, yes, Danny had to have been 5 because Christy was just baby, just born. So, and Jimmy was 9. So Mary stayed behind to watch the 2 kids, and then Jim and I went to the hospital, and he had really obviously severe burns on his hand. It was his right hand too, which he was left-handed, so that kind of worked out for him in a way. But anyway, so they came and they were treating him, and they had to put we told him was peanut butter, because Danny loved peanut butter. And it had the consistency of peanut butter, and it kind of looked like peanut butter. And they were putting all this salve on his hand for the burn. And so then they were going to have a nurse come in the doctor did all of that, examined him and that. Then they were going to send a nurse in, and he was going to bandage it up and put some more of the salve on. And so Danny was sitting with Jim. He was sitting on Jim's lap, holding his Bert, holding his hand up like that, because he was in a lot of pain. He definitely was in a lot of pain. And I was just so upset because I felt responsible that, I should have been watching him better. But we didn't have any child services look at us then. Jimmy goes into Iraq, then we have child services, which was his own fault. This was my fault, and then we didn't have child services come. So, I'm not complaining, but they should have. Anyway, so then the nurse comes in with all of the stuff and that, and Danny was just so concerned because he kept saying that he didn't want to wear a Band-Aid because Bert didn't have a Band-Aid on. And so I said, well, we'll have Bert wear a bandage too. And so when the nurse came in, I was a male nurse. When he came in, I said, could you also get a bandage out for Bert? And then he looked over at the 3 of them, well, the 2 of them in the doll, and he looked over at them and he goes, well, which one's Bert? I says, it's the doll, Bert and Ernie. And he looked at it and he says, oh, yeah, that's Bert and Ernie from Sesame Street. And he says, yeah. And he put some of the peanut butter lotion, which is not peanut butter, but we always called it peanut butter. He put some of the peanut butter cream on Bert's hand, and he bandaged up Bert's hand. And he gave him a sticker on his forehead because he was a brave little soul. And so then he told Danny, he says, see, now Bert did that. Now how about you? And so then Danny held his hand out and he let him bandage it all up. And it was just very traumatic, even for obviously for Danny, but for me it was like I never curled my hair again after that. I threw that damn curling iron away because I thought I don't want to be responsible. I felt so bad. I really felt so bad. But even now, Danny has memories of like the peanut butter on his hand. He always says, you know, I remember when I had the peanut butter on my hand. I said, do you remember the pain? And he goes, no, I don't remember the pain, which is good, which is really good. So I did want to send a big congratulations out to Margaret Lizotte, Lizotte. She hit her personal goal this month. She's reached goal. Yeah. I'm very proud of you, Margaret. I'm very proud of you because I know from my own experience how hard it is to reach your goals. I've reached my main goal, but I've reached a lot of little goals along the way. So I just, I want to make sure I said your name right. But, I've just come to the conclusion that I'm going to just take my time, figure it out as I'm going along. Just figure it out a little bit at a time. I've been doing it for 4 years. I did a tag today if you want to know any of my information of how I've been doing so far on my journey. But I've just, I'm going to get there. I'm tired of putting a goal, a set time frame on when I'm going to get there. I'll get there. I know I will. I've known this since I started 4 years ago, that I was going to reach a 100-pound loss and I was going to be in Wonderland. I just knew it. And I think that for the 4 years, I've been going up and down and up and down. But that's just what I do. And you know what? It's what I'm going to do the rest of my life. Once I lose this weight, that doesn't mean that some of it might not come back on. Not intentionally, but you know what? I'm going to live my life. And that means that I'm probably going to gain a little bit of weight. But I've set myself up never to gain more than 10 pounds. Because I can gain like 4 or 5 over a weekend. So it's just, which I probably should set my goal lower at 5 pounds. But 10 pounds puts me at that frame that I'd have to go into another size clothes because they'd be too tight. As I've gotten thinner this time, which I never did in the past, I've gotten rid of my bigger clothes. The only ones I kept is, like I showed you a couple weeks ago, are my jeans from when I joined Weight Watchers. Once I grow out of something other than something that's a little big, as far as my tops, only because they're my winter tops, and if this was any other year from last year to this year, not a pandemic, I would have been in the stores buying all kinds of clothes. I am not an online shopper. I don't like shopping online. I like to go into the store, look at the stuff, try it on, see how it looks, in the big mirror and the whole shot. So I haven't done that. But as far as my jeans have gone, I bought incentive jeans before the pandemic last February. I bought like 4 pair of size 18 pants. That when I was in them, they were just a little snug, but I could still get them on. They still fit, but I don't want to go into the next size, and so that's what I got to do. And all I can think of is every day I just got to take a little bit more effort into trying to do a little bit better than I did the day before. And with a little bit of effort, I can do it. I know I can do it. So, for breakfast today, I had some berries, a grapefruit, my egg, a cheese stick, a banana, and a 1/4 cup of cashews, the unsalted cashews. So my breakfast came to a 7-point total, 6 points for the nuts and 1 point for the cheese stick. But it was 563 calories. And then for lunch, I had a half of a Thomas's everything but the bagel, just a half of the bagel. I had a Laughing Cow cheese spread on it and a green apple. That was a 5-point lunch, 4 points for the bagel and 1 point for the Laughing Cow cheese. And it was 241 calories. And then for dinner, I had a half a cup of cottage cheese, 4% full fat. I had a salad. I have like green lettuce, red lettuce, spinach, cucumbers, tomatoes, some red onion. What else did I put in there? I put a couple pieces of broccoli. And I had some pineapple, the pineapple dole, pineapple tidbits. I don't drink the juice. I just drain all the juice off. So I count it as a 0-point thing. And then I had the Olive Garden dressing. It tastes exactly like the Olive Garden dressing. It's really good. So my dinner was 6 points, 3 points for my cottage cheese and 3 points for my dressing, and it was 303 calories. And so my total points for the day were 18. I get 23. I'm on the blue plan. And my calories were 1,407. That's fine. I'd like to be between 12 and 1,500. I was way under yesterday. It was 1,000, but I was way over the day before. So it's a balancing act. So anyway, before I close, I would ask you for some prayers. A dear friend of mine was just diagnosed with COVID, and the entire family came back positive too. So I'm praying that it's just a mild case, and I'd appreciate your prayers too if you could pray for this person and their family. And also just to stay safe. It's like this person was very careful, they're very cautious, not taking any risks or anything like that, and it happened. So, I mean, it just shows you how prevalent it is out there, so you got to really, really be careful. So I'm going to show you now the puzzles that I completed. Yes! And some puzzles that I've already done. And tomorrow's weigh-in day. I don't know that I'm going to have a loss, but you know what? I'm feeling really good this week. I mean, I know that once Lent starts, I'll be doing a lot better. And just easing into it. Just easing into Lent, and I'm going to eat because I don't want to faint like I did last year. And but I have a plan. I do have a plan. So, as always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And please, please, please be safe. Okay, these are the puzzles that we did last winter. Jim and I did that one, and we framed it. And then we did that one. And then a couple years ago, we did that one. That one was way more than 1,000 pieces now that I remember. We also did this one last year. It's the bathroom themed one. Because it's water, it's fish, it's an aquarium. And I also did this puzzle. Jim got me this for my birthday a couple years ago. And so I put that puzzle together also.